where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights, and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by I Am a Good Citizen. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Audit the Good Citizen is calmly filming outside a police station for his independent journalism work when a sergeant comes charging out, demanding to know what his story is about. The questions don't stop, and neither does the pressure. Then, without warning, the sergeant snatches his phone and launches an unlawful Section 43 search. But this power trip doesn't end the way he planned. Good Citizen takes the fight to HNK solicitors, sues the sergeant and the force, and walks away with a payout that makes this one of the most expensive mistakes they've made.
Any reason why you're filming the police station?
Yeah, there is a reason, yeah.
What is the reason?
Can you please identify yourself first?
Sorry?
Can you please identify yourself first?
I'm Sergeant Mark Coates.
Sergeant Mark. And shoulder number?
Shoulder number's there.
5377.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm independent journalist. I'm gathering footage for a story.
You're an independent journalist?
Yes.
Have you got a press pass?
I'm independent. So.
Okay, you don't work for anyone then?
So do you know what independent
No, but
is?
as in, are you working for a particular company?
No, I'm independent. I work for myself.
So what is the purpose of filming today?
Just gathering some footage for a story, sir.
What's the story?
I cannot tell. I'm still working on it, so I cannot say.
But what is the reason that you're filming? Because this is a secure police building.
Yeah.
We also have to ask questions why people are filming.
Yeah. And I told you.
You said it's for a story, but you haven't told me what the story's about.
But I don't have to tell you what the story is about. I'm still working on it, right? So it's not finished. If it's finished, when I publish it, you'll see what the story is. But I'm still working on it, so I don't want to compromise my story.
You're not going to compromise the story, because I'm not. From my point of view, I just need to be happy you're here for the right reasons. Yeah. Because police officers and police buildings are potential targets.
From the moment the sergeant walks out, it's clear he's not here to assess facts. He's here to satisfy himself. He presses the auditor instantly, asking what his story is about. And when he doesn't get the answer he wants, he comes out with this gem: I need to be happy you're here for the right reasons. That's not policing the law. That's policing his feelings. He tries to prop up this personal comfort test by claiming police buildings are potential targets. But that's a catch-all excuse with no evidential weight. Almost anything could be called a potential target if you stretch the logic far enough. The problem is the law doesn't give officers the power to act on personal unease. It requires reasonable suspicion based on facts. Here, there were none. Just a sergeant who didn't feel happy with what was happening.
So I have to be happy, the reason why you're here.
So how can I make you happy?
By telling me what the idea is your story is about.
I cannot tell you about the story. I'm just gathering some footage, so I'm an independent journalist, and that's it really.
But you've got a story in mind.
Yeah, I do have a story in mind, yeah.
So I need to know what that story is about. Is it to do with what the security like around the police building, what the coming and goings?
I cannot tell.
Because the route we're going to go down is you're going to be stopped and searched under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, whereby we will seize your phone, we'll look at your phone and say...
You're going to seize my phone?
We can seize your phone if we feel we have to.
What grounds, sir?
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act...
But what grounds? What grounds?
Just telling you, let me explain.
Okay.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, you can be stopped and detained and searched. And part of that search, we can look at your phone and we can see what photographs you've got.
Yeah, but
don't turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning my phone off.
Turn your phone off, we will see.
No, I'm not turning your phone off.
Right, so that's the route we can go down. I'm not saying we will go down that route. But at the moment, I'm not satisfied. The reason why you're filming here, you've told me it's for a story.
Yeah, I'm an independent journalist.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me what the story's about.
But,
do not turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning it off. I don't want...
I'm going to seize your phone now. Do not turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning it off. I don't want... No.
I'm going to seize your phone now.
I'm not turning...
I'm going to seize your phone at the moment under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act because you seem to be trying to turn it off.
No, just because I couldn't hold it. Please keep recording.
When the sergeant can't find out what his story is about, he threatens to go down the route of Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. That a power reserved for when an officer has reasonable suspicion someone is involved in terrorism. Here, there's no evidence, no intel, nothing to meet that threshold. Just a sergeant trying to use one of the most serious search powers in UK law as leverage. Then, without even detaining the auditor, he grabs and snatches the phone straight from his hand, claiming he thought it was being turned off. At that moment, he had no legal authority to seize it. No arrest, no search in progress, no warrant. Under UK law, taking someone's property without lawful power is not just wrong, it's unlawful. This is a perfect example of how police powers get twisted. First, use persistence to try and get what you want, then threaten legislation you can't justify. And when that still doesn't work, Just take what you want anyway.
Have you got any ID, sir?
So, have I committed a crime?
Well, right, we'll go down the route then. You're now detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. You're going to be stopped and searched. Part of that, I need your details so I can check to see who you are, and we have the power.
But you're abusing. Okay, so if I don't give you my name, are you going to arrest me?
I'm not saying I'm going to arrest you. I'm saying you'll be detained. I've asked you the reason why you're filming.
Yeah.
You told me for a story.
Yeah. I'm an independent journalist.
Which is fine. I understand that. But you can't tell me the story. So
I cannot tell you the story, right? Because I'm working on it. It's not finished yet, sir.
But you must have the concept.
Yeah, I'm just walking around and film in the city of London.
You're filming a police station.
Yeah, why not? I'm staying on a public. Right, this is a public payment.
Yeah.
So you took my phone, right?
I took your phone because I think you were trying to.
No, I don't want to. I just want to be filmed because I want to make sure what I'm doing is right. I'm not hiding. I want to keep filming. I don't want to stop filming. Please film me. Can I have? So you seize my phone, and I'm not happy with seizing my phone.
We haven't seized it. We've taken it off you.
Well, we take it, but it's not in me. It's not in me. No, I don't want to turn it off. I want to continue filming. Can I have my phone and continue filming, sir?
At the moment, you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. Part of that is we are going to examine your phone for photographs you've been taken today, and power to do that. It's under Section 43. And also, I need to do some name checks on you, so I need some of your ID.
I need some of your ID. When the auditor pushes back, pointing out that his phone's already been seized and he wants to keep filming in public, the sergeant tries to wriggle around it. We haven't seized it. We've taken it because we believe you're going to turn it off. That's a nonsensical distinction. The second you take possession of someone else's property against their will, without legal authority, it's a seizure. Whether you call it that or not, dressing it up in softer language doesn't make it lawful. He then makes his real intention clear. They detain the auditor under Section 43, so they can examine his phone for photos and videos, claiming that power comes from the same legislation. While Section 43 does allow an officer to search for evidence relating to terrorism, it only applies where the original detention is lawful. And here it's not. No terrorism suspicion was articulated. No reasonable grounds established. Just an officer fishing for a reason to go after a journalist's work.
Okay, so if I don't give you my name, are you going to arrest me?
Not particularly, but we will make some more inquiries. The quicker we get your ID, the quicker we can check.
So if it is a lawful order, I give him a lawful order to give my identity.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, you are detained. As part of that, we have the power to look at your phone and also do some checks on you and to search you.
Okay, but so is it a lawful order?
It's an order. It's a power.
I give him a lawful order. So if you give me a lawful order to give you my name and date of birth, I'm going to give it, but under the threat of arrest. If you don't give me a threat of arrest. So if it's not under the threat of arrest, I don't want to give it.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, we need to do some checks on you. Right. Shall I explain why you've been detained then?
Explain, what are the grounds?
Because you are seen outside the police station filming. As we've passed you, you're holding your phone like this, so we can photograph yourself, but clearly filming the gate. Part of that gate is a security pad, so I don't know whether you're filming to see if officers are pressing that to get access to the building. This is a police building. You gave a reason, you're an independent journalist and you're making a story. But you can't tell me the context of that story, you can't tell me why you're here.
I told you.
You haven't.
I told you, sir.
The sergeant's grounds for using Section 43 are some of the weakest you'll ever hear. First, he claims the auditor is filming himself with the station gate in the background. And because part of that gate has a security pad, he doesn't know if the auditor is capturing officers using it to get access. That's not reasonable suspicion. That's paranoia. The keypad is in public view. The camera isn't even aimed to capture its use. And there's no law against filming something visible from where you're legally allowed to stand. His second ground is even worse. That the auditor won't give him context for his story or explain why he's there. That's not an offense. That's a right. You don't need to justify your presence in public or hand over the details of your work just to avoid being treated like a suspect. Using someone's refusal to answer questions as a reason to search them isn't suspicion. It's punishment for not complying.
I'm going to ask you one question. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Have you got anything on you that can harm me or harm
I don't answer any questions.
I'm Sergeant Mark Coates, warrant numbers 218.
Sergeant Mark Coates.
218186, attached to Southwark Police Station. You are
218186.
You are detained under Section 43.
I don't agree. I don't agree with any search procedure. I'm gonna file a civil claim against you because you're violating my rights. I'm staying on public property, peacefully exercising my rights to film in public. I've done nothing wrong.
I haven't seen you done anything.
What grounds do you have to believe I'm a terrorist?
I didn't say you were a terrorist.
So why are you using Section 43 of Terrorism Act if I'm not a terrorist?
Because you are filming outside the police station.
But you said I'm not a terrorist, sir.
I didn't say you're a terrorist. I said you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
So do you think I'm a terrorist?
I didn't say you were.
Why using Section 43? You have to have reasonable grounds to believe I'm a terrorist.
Because you're seen outside the police station filming a keypad and officers going in and out.
But that's not real ground.
But in this current role, obviously, a lot of police officers are targeted by people who wish to do us harm.
You don't have reasonable grounds, sir.
This is where the sergeant's entire case falls apart. When challenged on what grounds he has to believe the auditor is involved in terrorism, he flat out admits that's not his belief. That's a catastrophic mistake. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act can only be used when there's reasonable suspicion of terrorism. By saying that suspicion doesn't exist, he's just admitted there's no lawful basis for the detention. Instead of correcting course, he hides behind the legislation's name, repeating that the detention is under Section 43, without addressing the legal threshold it requires. It's a hollow recital, as if simply invoking the section number is enough to make it valid, when in reality, he's already destroyed the grounds it depends on.
You're violating my rights with this search. I don't agree on that. I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. This is absolutely illegal what you're doing. I do not agree on searching my back.
You may not agree on it, sir, but I've tried to explain on a number of occasions.
Yeah. I don't agree on that. This is unlawful search of my back. Unlawful. Sorry, what are you expecting to find, sir? You have to tell me what you're expecting to find from my back under Section 43 of Terrorism Act. What are you expecting to find, sir?
There may be evidence that you are using...
Like what?
If you're not going to keep talking over me, I'm not going to be able to explain to you.
Okay, you have to tell me before starting the search, actually. Can you tell me what you're expecting to find in my back and in myself?
I'll explain to you, you've been detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act because we have the power to search your phone and your bag and you for any article.
But you have to tell me. You have to tell me.
You don't want to talk or you do want to talk?
I just want to understand.
Any articles that you may use in the event of planning a terrorist attack.
Like what?
Any article. A camera, a weapon, anything.
The fact that the auditor has to teach the sergeant basic search procedure is embarrassing enough, but it's also telling. While going through his belongings, the sergeant is reminded that he must state before the search exactly what he's looking for. That's not a favor to the person being searched. It's a legal requirement under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, and in fact, under all UK stop and search powers, an officer must inform the person searched of the object or type of evidence they are seeking. This is to ensure the search is transparent, proportionate, and within the limits of the power being used. Without stating the target of the search, there's no way for the person to know whether the officer is acting lawfully or straying into a fishing expedition.
Now people think I'm terrorist now.
No one thinks that, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'm here, you're searching my back like I've done something wrong. Crazy. Can I also have the water, please?
If you don't mind, you'll have that when we're finished with the search, okay?
Okay.
I don't know what's in there.
Oh, okay.
Just for safety.
Sure.
Safety.
Okay. Very thorough search by the sergeant. Sorry, who are you, sir?
PC O'Neill.
PC O'Neill. Okay. And your shoulder number, please?
5459. 5459 Sierra Oscar.
I've contacted a solicitor, and the solicitor sent a claim to the police.
This, right here, is the result of Sergeant Mark Cott's arrogance and misuse of power. HNK solicitors confirm a £1,500 payout, and that's not coming from his wages. That's your money, taxpayer money, paying for an officer's unlawful behavior. The statement spells it out. He detained and searched a journalist without lawful grounds, seized his phone while he was exercising a perfectly legal right to film in public, and abused Section 43 of the Terrorism Act to do it. And he wasn't alone. Named officers stood there and helped him carry it out. This isn't a difference of opinion. This is a legal admission that the sergeant got it wrong and the force had to pay for it. From the very start, the sergeant approached like he already had his verdict, pressing the auditor over and over for details about his work. That constant fishing wasn't about gathering intelligence. It was about wearing him down until he gave an answer. The problem? The law doesn't require anyone to justify filming in public. The refusal to accept that basic fact is what turned a simple encounter into a legal disaster. Then came the misuse of Section 43. And this is where the sergeant's credibility completely collapses. The power exists solely for situations where there's reasonable suspicion of terrorism. He openly admitted that wasn't the case, yet still used it to detain and search. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a conscious decision to invoke one of the most serious stop powers in the UK without meeting its most basic requirement. Once that admission is made, everything else that followed was built on sand. The unlawful seizures made matters even worse. The first phone was snatched before any lawful power was in play, under the excuse it might be turned off, a reasoning so weak it wouldn't survive 30 seconds in court. And taking the second camera at the end just proved this was never about genuine threat assessment. These were physical grabs done to take control and shut down recording, nothing more. When an officer strips a journalist of their equipment without clear legal power, it's not policing, it's suppression. What makes this even more frustrating is how avoidable it was. A quick professional approach, acknowledging the legality of public filming, a genuine assessment for any real security risk, and then moving on would have cost nothing, broken no laws, and earned respect. Instead, the sergeant's approach handed the auditor a clear legal win, drained 1,500 pounds from the public purse, and left another filmed example of how bad policing doesn't just damage reputations. It comes with a price tag we all pay. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Good Citizen. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching.